I am investing for my kids to become millionaires. And they said that my kids would have nothing to work towards. They would have no drive. And honestly, I just think that that's a lie that we have been sold by capitalism, that our worth, that our drive only comes from how hard we grind. And that's exactly the same kind of rhetoric that I get from like the older generation when I say that I'm going to be retiring in my 30s. It's like, well, why are you so lazy? But this belief is exactly why we have a generation that is overworked and anxious and burnt out and freaking depressed and sick. Because we are being taught that struggle is the only path to purpose. But here's the thing, okay? Studies show that when people actually have their financial needs met, they don't stop working. Instead, they start creating. They lean into who they already were. And sorry, it's loud in here. My kids are watching Sing. Like when you have your financial needs met, these studies show that people are writing and they are creating and they are inventing. They are caring for their communities. Purpose doesn't disappear when somebody has money. It expands. And money, it doesn't change who you are. It actually just magnifies what is already there. So if I am teaching my kids strong moral values, then giving my kids financial freedom does not erase their drive. Instead, it gives them the space to become exactly who they were meant to be. And now I want to turn this back to you because I want this to be a conversation, okay? If money was never an issue, if you didn't have to think about, if you didn't have to think about, paying your bills and rent and groceries and all of that stuff, who would you be? Like one of my favorite quotes of all time is, who were you before the world told you who you had to be? If you didn't have to stress about money, what would you do with your time? For the vast majority of people, that is going to be something that lights their soul on fire. Maybe you would create art. I want you guys to tell me in the comments, like, what would you do? Would you create art? Would you invent something? Would you create a business that you were passionate about? Would you pour back into your community and your family? Sure, there's always going to be somebody who sits on the couch and does nothing. But for most people, financial freedom doesn't kill purpose. It unlocks it.